Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, we'll be doing a review for Secret Invasion Episode 4, Beloved. In this episode, Fury must make some hard sacrifices. Directed by Ali Salim, and this show created by Kyle Bradstreet. The show stars Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, Ben Mendelsohn as Talos, Emilia Clarke as Gaia, Don Cheadle as Rhodey, Kingsley Benadir as Gravik, and Charlene Wooder as Priscilla. I'm only highlighting the characters that are, I guess I would say, important to this episode. I will get into spoilers, so if you haven't seen the episode, go check it out. It's a short one. It's very fast paced. It's action heavy towards the end of the episode, which is, I think, probably this is probably the biggest conflict we've seen as far as an action sequence. So it's really exciting, and a lot of things happen. So this one was a good one. I think it started off a little slow, slow burn for sure, but once things got going, it was really really interesting. So, spoilers if you haven't seen the episode. In this episode, also first of all, real quick. The Beloved is named after a section of the poem Late Fragment by Raymond Carver. Now we know that Carver is right. Priscilla, who is Nick Fury's wife, we found, and also a scroll, is a fan of Carver's writing. But obviously, this doesn't just apply to the relationship; it applies to a lot of things that are happening. A lot of stuff happened in this episode. We got some big reveals, including that Rhodey is a scroll, which we already had very many. Like we were already hinted at very, in a lot of ways for that, but this was our confirmation here. We also have the loss of Nick Fury's beloved friend Talos, who is killed by Gravik in this episode in the final moments, as the climax of the episode. And they've been working for so long together. Last week, Talos really made it clear that Nick wouldn't have had all the success without him and the scrolls and the helps of everybody behind the scenes. And we also see a very heartfelt conversation between Talos and Gaia. So yeah, that was. It's such a shame because this looks like one of those that's gonna stick, unlike the one that they teased at the end of the last episode, where Gaia was shot. Right, we start right there. This episode with Gaia, we go back and flashback to her stealing the information she needs to become a super scroll, from the scientist that's trapped in the little pod. And yeah, we see her that the extremists helped her, heal from the wound. I feel like Gravik should have stuck around to see if she died. Maybe the fact that she turned back into a scroll, um, was a big piece of that. But yeah, it was, I think we were all expecting Emilia Clarke to be back in some form or fashion. I had also heard that maybe Gaia was dead, but then the original human person that Gaia is based on would come back. Maybe you get free from the pod or something like that. I was not expecting everything that happened in this episode. We get a really intense scene with Priscilla, and Rhodey in a church. Uh, Now that we know, and this is really the moment where we are kind of confirmed uh, that Rhodey's a scroll, not visually, just like because of his intentions and his dialogue with Priscilla. Um, but yeah, we they have a really intense conversation. Fury or her have to die, one of the two, and then from there, we realize that Nick Fury somehow bugged Priscilla, or the plays are talking, or he's listening. He's always in. Even when he's out, he's in. Nick Fury is a badass. Um, and then we go to their house, and they have a super intense stare down, guns on the table. They both shoot at each other, but they both intentionally miss. This leaves their relationship kind of in a state of flux. We don't really know, right? Nick Fury doesn't know, like, is this a betrayal, or is this her proving that that their relationship is more important. It's a little nebulous to me, at least. But let me know what you think down in the comments on that. And then we go to the big reveal. We see a scroll showering. They come out of the shower in scroll form, um, and it turns into Rhodey. So we get the full this is Rhodey. This is now like we are confirmed that Rhodey has been replaced by a scroll. We don't know the moment that happened. I hope we do find out. Hopefully in the next episode. I think it's always fun to figure out the moment where people are being replaced. That was a big deal in the comics. So hopefully they do that as well. Um, and yeah, him and Nick Fury and Rhodey as a scroll. Well, not as a scroll, as Rhodey. I think Fury knows at this point, but Rhodey's not letting on. Anyways, he will die with that lie. And yeah, they just have a conversation, and Rhodey pulls out some tape from the Russia attacks where. Maria Hill is being gunned down by Fury. So he's in a tough spot. Uh, we finally go to the last scene where we have a presidential caravan. Rhodey's there. He calls in the scrolls for an attack, and they go all out. Gravik and his forcers go all out to disrupt. This is probably what they're thinking of as the major incident. Now, of course, Nick Fury and Talos are on this because they're I feel like there's one step of Gravik up until this point where it's revealed that Gravik, even though we as the audience already knew that he had some superpowers, we see him use the Groot vines um, and kill somebody as they're attacking the president. They're trying to get the president out of the car. Talos starts breaking a window because he's the only one strong enough to get through that bulletproof glass, and he gets shot. And boy, the makeup and the design of Talos like half transforming back into a scroll while he was shot in the shoulder, while he's still trying to break this glass to get the president out of the car and rescue him. It looks so rad. Like it is like across his face, like half of it is still Ben Mendelsohn, half of it is like this scroll that's trying to switch back and forth. It looks pretty groovy. When the soldiers figure out he's an alien, they want to shoot him, but of course Nick Fury stops them, and they get the president into Nick Fury's car. And from there, we think everything's going to be okay. But somebody is helping out Talos get to the car. Turns out to be Gravik, and he kills Talos at that moment. Uh, I'm pretty upset because no, I mean I think story wise it makes sense, but Ben Mendelsohn was such a fun presence in the show. But I do feel like it made sense. I mean, I think we had to either lose him or Gaia. Uh, and I feel like Ben Mendelsohn's done his duty here as a member of the MCU cast. Um, and now Gaia maybe will take up his fight to team up with Fury. So we'll see what happens. Pretty intense episode. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here on the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.